welcome to another episode of Different Roots Radio. Thank you for joining Dami and Tremaine.
Yeah.
We are joined today by Monique Kufuor, founder of BOBExpo, which is a company that helps support Black-owned businesses in the UK.
That's it. So Black-owned businesses, Bob. Is that where the
Bob Expo?
Yes.
And they also have exhibitions. I believe you've done 3 exhibitions so far. The company is based in Stockport and founded in 2018. And as Black business owners, we're very excited to have Monique on the show. So thanks for joining us. Tell us about BOBExpo.
Thank you so much for having me on. So you said it right. Bob Expo is a platform where we make it easy for people to discover Black-owned businesses, make them more visible, as you just don't see them, and it's so difficult to find them, but there is so many out there. So Bob Expo is a place where people can find them. The other thing is that we're very much on the cultural and diverse products as well, because a lot of Black businesses are solving a lot of problems, such as, you can't find diverse hair products or diverse books. And that's why I originally set it up, really. So that's the problem we're trying to solve. So there is very much for people to find cultural products as well as Black business owners.
That's awesome. So here's a thing for you, T. I know when I moved to Manchester, the very first few questions any Black person would probably ask, a Black male, would be like, okay, where's the closest barbershop?
Yeah, straight up.
And then like with barbershop or with hair salons, you got to say, where can I, get my products and things like that. And funny enough, from my own personal, I had to ask my cousin who's based out in Eccles. So, shout out to Olumide if you're listening. Oh no, I know you're listening because that's what family does, support each other blindly. And he recommended one person, and then I stuck with him now. And I know that there's a lot of Black-owned businesses that are based around Moston area, right?
Yeah,
in Manchester. So my final question to you, T, is how did you get recommended to your current barber? And if there's an interesting story, share it to us. If not, I'm gonna go to our girl Monique and say, she probably has the hookup, the plug, the lineup.
I can give you a list right now.
The worst thing is I've been through a few barbers in Manchester.
You're not loyal like that.
No, I was trying to find the right one. And one of them pushed my hairline back to there. And it was the day before I went to Poland on holiday. So I had to buy a Peaky Blinders hat for the whole
Is that why
That's why I bought the Peaky Blinders hat, because the barber put my hairline back there and I looked like old.
Are you going to put a photo of you with that hairline?
I don't even know, because I actually...
I think we need to see that photo. Just to see,
I'm going to stick it in the video. I'll see if I've got it.
All right, guys, if you're listening, watch right here. This is what it'll be.
Dami did refer me to a barber who I'm still using now. And I in lockdown, illegally, he did maybe legally, allegedly. He did a haircut in my flat, and then he also did a haircut in his van. But
then eventually started his own business.
Then he started his own business. So he went from he came to my house, then he got a van and was doing mobile haircuts, and now he's got a barbershop.
I need that guy's details, and then we can get him on,
Exactly, on the Bob Expo network.
Now I've got a good question. That brings up a sensitive issue.
Oh, already?
How Black do you have to be a Bob Expo?
Because he's half-caste, or is he
the guy? Yeah. I would shout out his hairdressers, but I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
But
very good question. Is anyone that feels that they are they identify as being within the Black culture?
That's a slippery slope.
Yeah, exactly. So anyone,
Kylie Jenner,
exactly. But is anyone that their ethnicity? Yeah, their ethnicity is Black. If it's your ethnic background, then whether you're half or you're quarter, or as long as you feel that because that's what the platform is for.
So I thank you very much, T, for sharing that, and shout out to your loyalness to my guy. Hurrah. Regarding even running expos, because I'm not even sure how one even creates that kind of business model to even find a venue, set it up, and then get people registered kind of thing. Is it possible you can kind of elaborate a little bit more as to, your intro steps to how you eventually set up the exhibition and, you know, any sort of learning lesson that you might have had?
Yeah. So we started in 2018. When we started, we were just sharing businesses on our social media platforms. And because I was amazed, because when I started, I actually thought Black businesses, very few, like you, I thought they're just based in certain areas, Boston, but then I realized, oh my gosh, there is so many, and a lot of them are very innovative, and they need to be noticed. So we started a business exhibition, which was more like a market, because we had 25 businesses, and they came, they exhibited as you would at an exhibition. So it was all very professional excellence, because that's what we want at Bob Expo. We want to show that Black businesses are aiming for excellence, and you know, they're just as good as any other business owner. So then we had 25 businesses, and the process was that obviously we just put it out there out of fear, and very surprised that people actually, a lot of people came. We outgrew the venue we had, which was amazing. So we knew we had something, you know, like, okay, so shoppers want to find these products. The reviews were amazing from, you know, consumers that came, and they were just like, I've been looking for these products for so long. Now I know. We know that the businesses also say that you know, it gives them the confidence as well. So yeah, so then we started in 2018 with 25 businesses, and then our most recent one this year had 100 businesses. So we have grown,
Nice.
Which was a leap of faith, and it was a lot. I say it was a lot. It was amazing. On the outside, it was absolutely incredible. The businesses benefited, customers absolutely loved it, but there was so much to learn, so much. I think sometimes you have these goals and visions that I want to be big, but then how ready are you making yourself before you are big? Like, there were certain things I did not put in place for facilitating 100 businesses. Because one thing about our exhibitions is that we're very personable. So on the day, the businesses are basically pampered. It's their day, they've invested in it. But there was so much to learn, because there was only so many volunteers, and we felt that we were not doing, maybe looking after businesses we could have, even though the business's review was absolutely amazing, but that's what we feel they need. So there was just so much to learn, as in, when you're going bigger, what are you putting in place to get bigger, rather than just saying, when it gets big, then I'll manage it then, just have things in place before then. So we had 100 businesses and just over 1,000 attendees. It was after lockdown, so we're not even expecting to push it further or anything, because obviously we had to be safe. But for us, that was an amazing turnout. It was busy. So it's a lot.
Is it indoors now, or is it still outdoors in the market?
So it's indoors. So what we do is we have an indoor building. All the businesses are in one hall. We do have like a foyer where we have most of the business services. Like people that provide business services, but most of the business are all in the foyer, so that in the main hall, so that everybody feels that they're getting the same audience, the same consumers, the same attention on a day. So there's no thing like I was in the corner, when we started, because of how small the venues were that we started with, we had to use exit rooms, like exit rooms, like a main hall and exit rooms. And the feedback from that was that I want to be in with everybody else, feel like people didn't know I'm here and that type of thing. So we finally found a venue that had everyone. Sorry, go ahead.
We're fighting to ask you a question. No, I'm just asking if it's indoors now, because I'm in crypto and we get so many expos.
Of course you say that.
Everything's about crypto. The whole world is about crypto. Anyway, we get to go to all these expos, and normally you have to pay for them. But yours I see is free. But with the expos, they have like loads of entertainment. So there might be like someone dressed up, a juggler. And I see from your expo, you guys have like fashion shows. Is that true? And like
so it's a whole vibe.
As usual, guests. It's a vibe.
Yeah.
So how do you make it so that it's free for all the attendees?
Yeah, because it must be so weird, because that business model, if you're not charging the exhibitioners to expose themselves there, then what is it? How do you make revenue? Do you take a percentage of their sales from that day, or do you say, charge admission from the attendees that come in?
No, the attendees are free. Do you charge the exhibitors for the stalls?
We charge exhibitors for the stalls.
So
that's the attendees are free. Yeah. So but normally you've got to pay for these expos. So it's good that you're doing
exactly. And when you go to expos, we say that our expo is obviously we're aware that a lot of the businesses we're working with are small businesses or low income businesses and just trying to stay afloat and reach a new market. So our exhibition is next to nothing compared to other exhibitions. However, compared to a lot of the cultural markets and stuff like that, we are on the higher end. But then, like I said, we're aiming for excellence, and obviously it's helped us to get where we are now. So we want to keep it a free event for as much as we want, because we want shoppers to come out.
That's so true. So because I did my research and I have to bring in some numbers.
Here we go.
So some important factors that a lot of exhibitioners try to consider whenever they go to an exhibition. Number one is, or 54% say cost is very important to them, right? So of all the trade shows that happen in UK, 43% of them usually spend between 500 to 2 grand in terms of, paying for that admission to be associated with that exhibition. And only like 28% spend between 100 to 500, right? So I'm not sure where you range in that scale, but if you end up in the 2K per business kind of thing, and you have 50 businesses, that's easily 100K that you're looking at right there. So, and then the second factor is trade industry. Trade industry is something like bridal. There's trade shows for bridal showers and bridal wedding events and things like that. And then the third is geographical location, right? So if it's specific to the north kind of thing, they consider that just because of the market, right? So regarding Bob Expo, I guess, you probably play to a lot of checkpoints and a lot of, check a lot of boxes for these businesses that come in. And thinking about it too, is that with your exhibition, as it is now, is there like a goal? Everyone starts off small, you start off in smaller venues, then you work way up. Is there an example of one exhibition that you're like, what, one day that's going to be me, like there's an exhibition that I went to not too long ago for my business called Progress 21. It was out in Manchester Convention Center, and it had hotels, it had small business, consultant businesses. And I swear to you, it was like a 3-day affair. And I swear to you, it was a wonderful experience. And, maybe that's your example of your golden standard that you want to achieve too. Is there one that you came across that you said, that's going to be me one day?
Yes, definitely. In my mind, it's going to be something where it's a 2-day event. People come from all over and people have their cubicles. Barbers, will make actually like a barber, with their cubicles, make it look like a barber shop, live demos, how to manage Afro hair, how to, just loads of different things going on. I don't know if you've heard of the Autumn Fair in Birmingham. And they are absolutely amazing. So they deal with businesses, but business to business. So people that want to stock business products. But I just love it how people just go there and it's like shopping experience, and they have live demos and that type of thing. So that is the vision where, people can come and just spend all day. I think we've managed that. People do come and spend all day, but where it goes over maybe more than one day, and people are coming from all over. People can come and learn, maybe someone's wanting to learn about how to do Afro hair, hair salons can learn from one another, or, just different things. It's very, it's both for business owners and both for customers.
It's true. It's an experience. It's a vibe. And quick another stat, the average length that someone spends at an exhibition is 5.5 hours. So it's like a full day affair, shopping, teasing, tasting. It feels like whenever I go to Costco, I will spend a little bit longer just because I'm snacking at some free samples.
Yeah, we always say give free samples because it's just amazing. Someone might not initially want to buy when they just look at your container, but then when they taste it, it's like, oh, or you leave a lasting memory, don't you? Like, I remember that from, the expo. So
about free samples, goodie bags, and free drinks. That's a successful expo, and good speakers, obviously, but really it's about the free gifts.
The free, yeah.
It's the free gifts and the free open bar.
I have so much stationery pens from all these, like,
honestly, I have like 700 different like company pens and like random notebooks and things.
But I will always remember this is where I went to go get it.
Yeah, and the t-shirts.
Exactly.
But about your companies, like the companies that come to your expo, what stage of growth are they at? Are they like scaling up? Are they quite new companies? Have they been around for a while, or are they all different?
It varies, but majority are new companies. So I'd say between 1 to 3 years. Most of them, we have a few startups. So what we do is, we do get some people saying, I've just started, am I okay to come? And we're all for that, as long as they, that's where we would, support them. Because it is overwhelming. So we don't want them to come and think, oh my gosh, my setup's not as good or whatever. So we would support them, come up with some really good ideas for the day to reach customers and how they can gain clients and that type of thing.
You help them with that, or?
Yeah,
wow.
so we help them. So we help all the businesses. So what we say to all the businesses, the option is there. Once they've registered, if you would like it, just book in with us. So we have people come in saying, I do, we had someone that did like marriage counseling, a couple, like marriage coaching. They're like, what can we do? I said, do couples challenges, So they had couples challenge where you come with your husband, you put in a drink, you're kneeling, and it's fun, and give free t-shirts, that type of thing, or get people to tag you on the day, and maybe do a giveaway. So tag us on your social media. There's just so much you can do. We always say that sales is a bonus. Sales is a bonus, and people do make sales because obviously, people there to spend money, but that's a bonus. But then there's other things you can do. There's so much you can, extend your email list. So you have people's contacts for later on, because they might not want to buy with you that day, but Christmas time, they might think, oh yeah, I remember you from the expo. I really like that, and then buy it. So there's just
that's true. So correct me if I'm wrong, sometimes when people come into these trade shows, they got to come in with an objective, and the objective doesn't exclusively have to be sales, right? Because exactly. I know that for some businesses, that traditionally long to decision makers, there's usually 6 points of contact that needs to happen before a sale actually comes out of it. So maybe it is, that first point of contact is at the exhibition, and then follow-up email, follow-up posting, and then you start sinking into the subconscious, or, start helping them with the decision process, make the level of uncertainty, diminish it as much as possible before making that commitment to actually give you the Visa card, give you, the hard cash.
Exactly. The moment that someone stopped at your table, your station, that's it. You've got a potential, consumer. So it's next to you to know the stages. And if, some people get a bit down that, oh no, I didn't make sales, but then someone came but people came to your table. What did you do? Did you take their details? What are you going to do with those details? You need to contact them. They were obviously interested in what you had to say or do, but, you can continue the conversation over the email or booking a free, 15-minute chat with me. There's just so much to do, isn't there? So it's just about expanding business owners' minds that, sales is a bonus, it's absolutely brilliant, and you will make sales. But also, there's so much more further sales, because someone could buy from you on that day and completely forget about you. Say they buy a cake, eat it, go around, forget about you. But then, they can remember you, by you sending them regular emails or follow us on social media, or you do something really fun on a day. Like you said, sometimes they have jugglers at expos, or just be fun. Yeah,
that's good. And here's another question that I guess a lot of people have this sort of association with Black businesses, or especially with Black trade businesses, it's that it's predominantly hair related, right? So maybe from your exposure, you kind of alluded earlier that there are some businesses that do like couples counseling that show up to this trade show. So it's not just hair products that you're essentially selling or helping showcase, rather. are there any other sort of industries or any sort of businesses that you see are trending within the Black community or Black Afro-Caribbean minority community rather, that are showcasing in your exhibition?
Yeah, so we have a lot of people that are making a lot of children's items, because a lot of them are parents and have realized there's not enough diverse gifts or merchandise that represents their children. So we've had people that make like Black dolls, mixed heritage dolls, both for boys and girls, key rings, like fun, like books, interactive books, jigsaw puzzles with, we've had one that does jigsaw puzzles with the African map or the Jamaican map. So just stuff that represents their heritage. So there's also that. So it's not just hair. We do get a lot of hair because obviously that's a big thing that, you know, the hair industry and, you know, having the right hair products for the Black community. But we also have, they also have tech companies as well. So people that have come with really innovative like CRM systems for businesses. So it's just amazing. It's just a vast variety of businesses on the day, and it's not just hair and beauty, it's also other stuff and food, and yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, so go on.
I was gonna say, so you guys, you're like, first of all, quick 2 questions. What did you do in lockdown? Did you like just list people online, and or did you do a virtual expo? And then also, how did you pick the cities which you're based? Because I see you're based in like London, Liverpool, all the main ones, Birmingham, Manchester. But then I see Sheffield's there, but you left out Newcastle, which is like obviously one of the biggest cities. Are there just no Black people in Newcastle? Is that what's up? Because I went to university in Durham, and I'm not going to lie, there were not a lot of Black people in. I was a rarity. There were not many Black people in Durham, but Newcastle, there's a few. So yeah, how come you haven't looked at that market?
To be fair, we haven't tapped. We're trying to. What we realized is that I didn't want the business to run thin. We really wanted to perfect Manchester. So that was one of the lessons learned as we were growing. With that, we're trying to get everyone, you know. So let's just perfect Manchester. Let's, you know, get everything, and then the business that we know. So we don't necessarily say, oh, we're doing Birmingham. It's just those are the business that come to us. So we'd ask where they've come from. They'll say Birmingham. Where they come from, Liverpool. So there you go. We actually haven't had a business owner from Newcastle yet, but it's something that we could intentionally tap into. But we will once I think we've mastered what we're doing now in our model, and I think it's you know, you start seeing us tapping into more cities, because the need is there. The problem that we're solving is a need everywhere. So yeah, that's.
And then lockdown, what did you do?
Oh yeah, what did you do in lockdown?
Yeah, so lockdown, oh my gosh, I could have cried, because the business exhibitions is what we do, you know, come, touch, feel, and talk with the businesses. So, but then we didn't just want to do online because everybody was doing, you know, online expo just for the sake of it, because I really do feel that consumers get so much from touching the products, not touching the business owners, touching the products.
Well, don't touch my hair. Don't touch my hair. Is that it?
It's a massage while they're doing your hair, they need to touch you. But yeah, apart from that, don't touch.
Yeah, but touching the products and talking with the consumers. So we just wanted to do something not just for the sake of it. So we just put our business expo on hold. So that's why we rescheduled to the July this year. And then we created a business hub. So we have a business hub now, because what we realized is that we had a lot of businesses that they still needed a lot of support, and we were supporting them not naturally anyway, because we had built a good rapport with the businesses that we work with. And we thought, why not just monetize it and make it into a membership, so that when people do phone us or ask us stuff, and then we know that we're giving something that they're paying for, if that makes sense. So we have a business hub now, and we help businesses out when it's not our business exhibition, and we give them accountability support and connect them to networks that will benefit their business.
Awesome. So these are your 3 tiers: silver, gold, and platinum, all right? The membership levels that you're talking about. All right, good. So I'm imagining, just because I've also understood that it's not just exhibition and you give the aftercare, but you also provide media support kind of thing. So media exposure. And, you know, being a podcast person that, you know, talks about businesses, I'm also of awareness that you are not a direct competitor, but you're an indirect competitor. So with My Business, My Customer podcast, is that one of your arms of your media arms that you try to do?
Yeah, so that's our first media arms that we started, just because we just realized that a lot of these businesses have a story behind them, why they started. And I love to hear about it. So I thought maybe people would love to hear about it as well, and the passion behind it and some of the trials they faced. And we do it for businesses that we have worked with. So there's a bonus for exhibiting with us. So different to yours where, you know, it's not through membership or exhibition. People that are within our network already, and then also benefit from the after stuff. So would you like to come on our podcast? So continuous promotion after the exhibition. So it's really good. Just a place where people can just be inspired by the business owners.
Good. Why do you have you thought about doing more than one expo a year?
Yes.
Since I missed
yes. The first place I'm saying
you want to double down.
Yeah. Since you missed the last one, let me get some free t-shirts and I'll be one of your exhibitors. They'll be lit.
The jugglers. That's
yeah. What do you think? What city do you think we should go to if we are to do it somewhere different? It would have to be in a different city.
It would be. So I'm not gonna lie,
Liverpool.
But you say Liverpool, but I was
actually London.
They already do like the major ones.
No, but the last one was in Manchester, right?
Yeah, the last one.
So we do it in Manchester.
Okay, fine. Do London, fine. You know, there was remember I talked to you about this. There was Black Business Week that happened in October, right?
Yes, that was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that would have been a good time to get yourself associated or do a follow-up week with Bob Expo. You know, I to be quite honest, I actually think if you went out to Wales or to Scotland, no, seriously, because no, you see it as a problem. I see it as an opportunity because these areas are predominantly anglicized, we'll say, but there are still a Black community of people that go there for work and things like that, and they're looking for solutions to their problems. So if you go set yourself up in Cardiff or Glasgow, and then you really make yourself known right before you come, I swear to you, the people that have been staying there for like 2-3 years, they'll be like, finally, they're coming here, and then
that's true. They're also be more spread out. They're not going to be like concentrated.
No, but if you tell them,
it's like if I go to Serbia and I start a Black Expo, I'm sure people will come, but like,
and those people will be loyal to you because you have
I'll tell you something, though. When people heard we were doing it,
everywhere, man. We're
definitely.
My Nigerian people always support us. They were our first customer base, which is amazing. Nigerian community is everywhere. But let me tell you something. So when we started, we're the first company that's done something like this within Manchester. And everyone's just like, why Manchester? Why not London? Which is obvious. I know probably if we did start in London, we would, of course, we've got the right clientele there. But then Manchester has a large Black community as well. And that was the response, like what you said, finally. People are like, finally, something in Manchester. And we still get that. So I was at somewhere the other day and someone introduced what we do and who we are. And someone's like, I've been going to London for these type of things for so long. I never knew there was something like this in Manchester. So I guess.
Where is it? Where you are, they will travel to you, man.
Build it and they will come.
That's it. Build it and they will come. That's it. So have some faith, Jermaine. Have some faith.
I just know it's cold. That's why I was like, no, I'm not coming to an expo in Scotland. It's cold.
Well, it's indoors now, and it's heating.
That's true.
Indoors, you can do a bit of sightseeing. Yeah.
Exactly. Go see some castles and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But we got to hit some social issues.
Speaking of social issues,
I'm sure you're aware that we've got a little issue in the UK with what do they call it, management structure, with all the CEOs and people in leadership all being white middle-aged men.
This is diversity and inclusion you're going to get into.
Diversity and inclusion, yes. And in the FTSE 100, there are 0 Black CEOs. 0. It's a bad look.
What?
It's gone down.
Where?
In England. In the top 100 companies. Top 100 companies, there is no Black CEO. And it's gone down since 2014.
You know what? I'm gonna challenge you a little bit because I remember back in the day when I was applying for corporate jobs, Credit Suisse actually has some. I think their CEO is Black, but he's based out in Switzerland. So that's why he didn't make that number.
Yeah, okay, there you
but
go.
But yeah, go on.
Ethnic minorities are all right though. Like there's 3.4% ethnic minorities, but that stayed in CEO positions. But that stayed the same since 2014. So I know, like from experience, my mom's a doctor. She owns a medical company. I know people in crypto who own like cryptocurrency businesses. I know like lots of people in fashion who are Black who own like suit companies. Shout out Kingdom Suits. Thank you for the.
When is my jacket coming?
And yeah, so like clothes, as we said, hair, medicine, crypto. But and we've interviewed Maison Le Prochain.
Yes, another fashion line in Canada, no?
And so there are all these businesses, but obviously they're not on the FTSE 100. And over time, it's not really changing because they say that Black people just get put in positions of power, but there's a ceiling and they're not really going to make it to the board. So they might be managers or directors, but they're not going to be on the board of directors. So how do you think do you think it can change over time? And or do you think we're just going to have to carve our own lane? Like Jay-Z said, you know, Black owned business, buy back the block, invest, and look after your community. Don't send all the money out.
I'm going to even throw in a saying that my dad often tells me. He's like, if I'm going to be a monkey in someone's cage, let me at least own my own cage.
Oh,
you know? So.
And to be fair, I found it the same. If you own a business and your friends, I find that my friends who are Black will be like late or like pay later or just be less convenient to me.
Go on,
and they'll be like, oh, come on, bro, hook me up, bro. But then for like white people, they'll be like more on time or more punctual. I don't know if it's just me and maybe it's because my energy is very chilled, but I find that homies are a little bit more like, bro, it's cool. I'm gonna pay you tomorrow. But like, if it was someone saying like, yeah, here's the money. I already transferred it before I got here. So that's what
I'm laughing so loud.
I think it's the familiarity. So the familiarity is just
even in the barbershop. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I know it's £10. I've only got eight today. I'm gonna get you later. And they go like, yeah, it's cool, my bro. It's cool. But like, I would not go to a white barber and be like, I've only got £8. Like he'd be like, you broke Black mofo, get out of my barbershop. I
am laughing so loud right now because this is coming from Timmy. He's been on both sides of that argument. When I've been chasing him, you're like, yo, really? Did you say it's your turn to pay?
I'm like, don't worry, homie, I got
Where's the money? Where's the money? When you get familiar, you feel like, oh, I'll just pay you whenever, but then just taking people's business seriously. But it's also the boundaries that business owners set as well. So like you said, the barber, once he does it once for somebody, that's going to be a continuous thing. But if he doesn't do it at all, like says, no, I need you to pay now, the person will just go to the cash point and bring it back. So it's also about business owners setting the boundaries as well, because people always try and,
to stretch themselves, try to see how far they can get away with.
Always. So yeah, I mean, to be fair, I might just be my experience, but to be fair, when I've worked in white companies, people, when it comes time to pay, people will always make an excuse. It can be like wedding caterers, it can be a doctor, it can be anything. People will be like, yeah, I left my wallet, send me the invoice, I'll pay you next time, or always looking for a way to like get a discount or not to pay. So
I guess that being said too, it means have your own standards and just stick with it. Don't let people walk over you, because I think because I've also been on the receiving end of IOU promises kind of thing, that I realized I don't even mess around with invoices from friends' businesses now. I just say, what is the price? And then I'll be a little cheeky, say, is there any discount? They'll say no. I say, boom, that's it. Here's your money. I don't wait. So, but I guess going back to, go on.
It's just being intentional. Like I work with Black businesses, so obviously I've even doing my company, I've had to learn stuff that I've realized that, oh my gosh, I do it as well. So like, comments that way you say, oh, it's so expensive. But then realizing, no, that's out of my budget, because you wouldn't walk in Selfridges and say, oh, that's too expensive. Can you reduce the price? You would say that coat's out of my budget. I would go look for a cheaper one. So just unlearning saying that and being aware not to say it amongst other people as well, because it puts people off. So just unlearning certain habits that we do as a community and just doing better, especially for these businesses. So if you want to buy it, buy it. But if you can't afford it, just be honest and say you can't afford it.
Okay, and then let the business owner then extend a discount to you, maybe, it'll be nice.
Exactly, and say, just like for example, I remember getting wanting to order from a baker that I usually order from, and because I've got into the habit of not asking for discounts, I would be like, how much is this? And then they said the price, and I said, oh, okay, it's not in my budget. So I will next time come to you when I feel now I know your price. And then because I'm a regular customer, the business owner then said, tell me what your budget is and I'll see what I can do for you. And that's, that's because I was respectful to them. So I think it's respect, isn't it? So they respected that I didn't want to take the mick. But in some businesses, they can't lower their prices, otherwise it's a loss to them, and that's totally fine. So it's just respect, isn't it?
Finally, I guess my last question to you, Monique, is if you could rewind back time and talk to your younger self, what would you tell yourself as a motivation to you, or what do you think would be like a really big lesson that you're going to have to coach them for when going on this journey of Bob Expo?
So my younger self, I would say that you're just the way you are. You're meant to be like that. You'll be used, because one thing is you don't realize where sometimes you question yourself when you're younger. So when you grow up, you think, that's why I'm like this. It's your talents and your gifts that we're all given is going to be used when you're older for a certain purpose. And I feel that that's where I am today, where sometimes I would have questioned the way I am. But one of the tips I would give anyone going on a business journey is start where you are. Wait until you're ready, and would just make you just be stuck. So just start where you are and learn and enjoy the journey. You are not in a race with anybody.
Unless I'm racing to me, then I'll make sure I beat your ass.
I'm definitely winning.
Yeah, unless you're racing.
You should be in a race with yourself every day and try and do better than you did yesterday.
Exactly.
Remember, this actually reminds me of that Oscar award speech that Matthew McConaughey gave. He's like, I want to thank my younger self. I am my own hero, because
I like that.
But that's good. How many times do we talk about ourselves and hype ourselves? That we're always, one thing I've realized is that, there's so many inspirational people out there, and we're always looking up to inspirational people. But then sometimes there's a thin line between being inspired by someone but wanting to be like them, and then dampening down who you are. Just, what about yourself? Like, I am amazing. How do you guys say that to yourselves?
I know T does.
The funniest thing is we played basketball last night, and one of the guys is like, why do you never shut up? You're always just talking on the basketball
that was
court.
Me.
Was it you?
I always say that to you.
Everyone says that to me, but I'm always just, every time someone shoots and I block it or they can't score, I'm like, yeah, I'm the best defender, you're trash. And I watched an interview last night with Dwayne Wade, and he's like, oh yeah, people used to think that Kevin Garnett was like always trash talking and he was so rude, but actually half the time he wasn't trash talking, he was like talking himself up. So he's like, yeah, I'm the best, you'll suck, but really he's telling himself,
but it comes off as arrogant though.
It does, but some people like to, it helps you. And I just realized I do it to myself. I'm not even trying to say you suck, I'm really trying to be like, I'm the best, so that I'm gonna make the next shot. So a lot of the time, like you said, you're like talking yourself up. It's for your own confidence. It makes me play better.
Exactly, and I did that at mine. I did it at our most recent exhibition because it was very overwhelming for me. I don't like to be at the forefront at all. A lot of the times I've hidden behind, but this time I couldn't hide. And just I had to talk myself that, this is amazing. And if you believe you can't do it, you won't be able to do it. You can do it. You've got this. You've done all this. You have done all this. Look around you. That's what I kept saying. Look around you. And it helped calm my nerves because you actually, because sometimes we're waiting for someone to come to us and say that. You get it?
And you don't get it. Yeah, no one comes and says, you're really good. Well done. You did a really good job.
Exactly. So and you might get it, but then if you're always waiting for that, you're always just going to be waiting. But how about you just say, you know what? I've done this, and even if there is room for improvements, you can say I've done this, but then I'm going to do better. Like you said, be better than you were yesterday.
The power of me and the self-actualization or self-prophecies kind of thing.
And like you said, if you say you can't do it or you say you can do it, you're right both times. So like if you say, I can't do this, you're not going to do it. And if you say, I can do this is easy money. I'm so smart, I'm so strong, you're going to do it. So whichever one you think is going to be right.
This is, yes, if you can, you can't. If you can't, you can also can, right? So Temaine, I'm not going to lie. When I play basketball with Temaine, I swear to you, his biggest offense is his mouth. So,
and it works, right?
I don't shoot very well, but when he does, he starts talking and then his can't turn off.
He's really good. And I'm like, oh, I'm really good. I convince myself into it, but yeah.
So yeah, before we sign off, Monique, thank you very much for coming in and for sharing your story and giving us a little insights as to the world of exhibition and media. How could some of our listeners get in touch with you or get enrolled with Bob Expo?
Fantastic. So so you can send us an email at info@bobexpo.org for your inquiry. We are currently looking for sponsors. So if anyone wants to be aligned with our brand and help us make it successful for these businesses, we are open to that. And to exhibits, you can send us an email or on our socials at @BobExpo_. There is a registration link.
Nice. All right. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in to another episode of Different Roots Radio. We're very happy to have Monique in, and we're going to see if we can get ourselves associated to Bob Expo and, get ourselves a bag full of goodies. Yeah. But yeah, so we'll sign out and
remember to support Black-owned businesses by following Different Roots Radio and looking up Bob Expo online.
All right. Cheers to that. Bye.
Peace.
Don't forget to hit the like button to subscribe to Different Roots Radio on YouTube, Twitter, and all audio listening channels. Our talks air every other Monday. One love.